What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Recap of yesterday. We ended up 4-2 on the free pick. So on the screen, you're going to see our plays from yesterday. We had Luka Points, who cashed us out. We had Hartenstein PRA, which was a big X, which is unfortunate, man. Hartenstein played well the first quarter. He had almost 10 PRA, I think, in the first quarter, so he's looking good. And then he just cooled off. Didn't do anything the second half, really. Obviously ended with 19. He came close, but he chalked us. Halliburton rebounds and assists was free. Hallie had 14 at halftime. Or 14 in the third quarter. It was pretty easy to cash that one. We had Morant points. Slightly sweaty, but he cashed us. We had the Bucks plus 4.5, and then the Lakers money line. So the Bucks let me down. For the Pacers fans, I won't be taking the Bucks much more. I promise. There might be. I think they get at least one game this series, and I'm hoping I find that game and I actually play it, because I've already lost 2 in a row in the Bucks. So I'm going to definitely be playing light if I do take the Bucks again. And then the Lakers cashed us out. I think the Lakers getting blown out that first game was a fluke, and I don't think it's going to happen again. I think the Lakers got this series. I know I got some Timberwolves fans that are mad at me, but I do think the Lakers are taking the series, man. But anyways, looking at today's slate, guys, we got 3 games again. We got the Magic, the Celtics, the Heat, the Cavs, and then the Warriors and the Rockets. Game 2 for all 3 of those games. I don't like the slate in terms of betting on money lines personally, so we'll talk about all that in a minute. Before we do any of that, I do want to show some wins from yesterday and pick our winner for free VIP. Some of our wins, tacos. We had a lot of spoiled tacos yesterday. This slip did cash. We had Morant and Lillard. Dame did cash us out, $100 to win $200. We had Bubik and Cabrera over on Prizepicks, 75 to win 187. Bailey over and Bubik again, 75 to win 162. And then directly from the free picks, we had our man Morant and Halliburton, 14.5 RA and points, 75 to win 183. I will be picking a winner from yesterday's video to get a free month of VIP. If this video gets 250 likes, I'll randomly run another generator for the win tomorrow to get a free month. So make sure you guys drop a comment, leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. You do have to be subscribed to win. And tomorrow, a random comment will win a free month of VIP. So picking our winner from yesterday. Winner is going to be Chris Oog, who said VIP. So Chris, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for a free month. Appreciate the love and support from everybody out there, including the haters. And let's go ahead and jump into some of these plays, guys. But I do want to say you guys can get every single one of our plays on our WAP. A link to our WAP is down in the description. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. You can get weekly or monthly membership. Or if you don't want to join our WAP, if you don't want to be in VIP, you don't feel like paying anything, you can join our Discord for free. We'd love to have you in the Discord. A link to our Discord is down in the description as well. Make sure you guys join. If you have any questions about anything, you can ask in the Discord and we'll answer it to the best of our abilities. I'm not on 24/7, but I am in Discord quite often and I try to keep up with the chat. But anyways, guys, you can get a free full month of our VIP if you sign up for any partnered apps. Those include Parlay Play, Underdog, Sleeper, Better, NOVIG, Dabble, and Chalkboard, I think I'm missing. So any of those 7 apps get you a free month of VIP. You can sign up for more than one. You can get more than 1 month for free, all the way up to 7 full months. All you have to do is use our code, make the minimum deposit of $10. They'll double your first deposit, and you get free VIP on any of those apps for the most part. So now we can jump into these plays. So enough rambling. Let's talk about these 3 games. So the first game that we have to talk about is going to be the Magic versus the Celtics. In terms of betting on this game, I don't like betting on it. Now, I don't think the Magic are going to put up too much of a fight to Boston this series personally. I do think the Magic are going to take 1 game. Now, where that game comes or when that game comes, I don't know. Do I think it's going to be tonight? No, I don't think it's going to be tonight. Let's look at the public betting on this. So you got 89% of the bets on the Celtics, 78% of the money on the Celtics. The spread, you got 77% of the bets and 67% of the money on Boston covering a 10.5 point spread. So majority of people think Boston's going to win by more than 11 points. And then you got 78% of the money on over 197.5, which 197 is a really, really low. Obviously, these are pretty defensive games. A lot of these games aren't high scoring, but I do think this one's a little bit too low. So I would lean the over on this one if I was going to bet. Now, I don't like the money lines on this, and I don't like the spread on this either. I could see it going either way, so it's kind of coin flip in my opinion. I don't think Orlando's going to take this, so I'm not going to play the plus 470. And I do think the Magic are going to try to get some more players a little more involved. So Banchero is pretty much their entire team right now. You got Wagner. Wagner scores a few points, but other than that, man, Banchero with 50 PRA his last game. Not many other players did much. So maybe they try to get some more players involved. I don't know. We'll see. Banchero's been on fire lately, so maybe Banchero just continues to take over. But I don't think this is going to be the game where the Magic win. I do, like I said, I think they sneak a game in this series, but I don't think they're going to win the series by any means. So maybe they prove me wrong. We'll see. But this game, I'm going to fade. If I took anything, it would be the total. I'm not going to take any. I'm not going to tell you guys any play for the free picks on this game. I'm going to fade it, and you're going to see that with most of these 3 games. I'm not huge on these, but that's my opinion on the Celtics Magic game. There's not really anything crazy to mention, but anyways. Jumping into game number 2, we have the Heat versus the Cavs. Now, this is a game that I could see being close. I think the Heat did end up losing by like 20 to game 1, maybe. I'm not exactly sure what the score was to the T, but I know obviously the Cavs won. I think the Cavs do win the series again. I do think the Heat still at least one game this series. I don't think the Cavs sweep them. We'll see what happens with that. It could be a 4-0 sweep. I don't know. Miami did sneak a game from them this season. I think Miami went like 1-3 this season versus the Cavs, so they lost 3 games, 1-1. Looking at the money lines on this, you got plus 540 odds for Miami to win, which I don't think they're going to win this game either. Maybe one of the home games they can win. I'm looking at Miami plus 12. Now, Miami plus 12 is not a bad line. Now, Cleveland did cover this the first game, but Miami getting 12 points is a lot for plus money. Plus 103 odds if you play on Profit X. That's what the app is, Profit X. I've never used it before. I probably can't use it in my state. But plus 103. Now, looking at the total, it's 212. I'll probably fade the total on this one. I think it's going to be a pretty defensive game. Neither team gives up a lot of stats. I'm looking at the money line. Percent of bets, 85% of bets, and money is going to be on the Cavs. Obviously, not many people are going to take Miami. Looking at the spread, 67% of bets and 76% of the money are on the spread for the Cavs, which kind of surprises me a little bit. And then you got the total. You got 74% of the bets, but only 44% of the money on the over. So a lot of people are thinking the under is going to happen on this. This one could go either way, in my opinion. That's not a super high total, but like I said, this is going to be probably a pretty defensive game, so I can see it staying under as well. But if I had to pick one play from this, I would take Miami plus 12. I think Miami has a good chance to keep the game close. They've kept some of these games close. Now they've 2 or 3 of the games they didn't cover this spread right here versus the Cavs this season. So it could get ugly, but Hero and Bam, man, they're not bad players by any means. And Wiggins has been stepping it up. I could see Miami keeping this game closer than people think. So if I had to pick one play from this, I'd take the positive EV value on Miami plus 12. But I'm probably not going to bet that. So I'm not saying take that play. The only one that I'll play would be the only one that I'm going to bet on is game 3, which we have right here. We're looking at the Warriors versus the Rockets. Looking at this, and I didn't mean to click that. I'm going to do this. That way I can scroll down. So this is game 3. Warriors versus Rockets. We got Golden State plus 146. Golden State won the first game by 10 points. Houston positive EV at minus 152. I don't know about that. I kind of like Golden State again. I really do. I got the Warriors plus 146. I'm going to run with the Warriors to win game 2. Plus 3.5 point spreads, a safer option if you'd rather take that. That's probably the better one. But at plus 146, I'm running with Golden State. So that's going to be the only play that I bet on tonight in NBA in terms of money lines. I will run with Golden State tonight. We're going to see what happens. This one's tough. The Rockets are a really good team. Looking at the records, you can see the Rockets won 4 more games than Golden State, which I know that doesn't really matter. But over-under on this one, 203 is the total. I'm probably not going to bet the over/under on this game either. A lot of these games are very defensive games, and this is another one that I don't think is going to be high scoring. The score was like 95-85 the first game. Looking at the statistics on the bets, 62% of bets are on the Warriors, but 74% of the money are on the Rockets. So lots of money on the Rockets. A lot of people have the Rockets going winning this game. The spread, 52% of the bets, 7% of the money is on the Golden State spread, which kind of I'm wondering about that. So more people think the Rockets cover the 3.5 point spread than they do win the game in total, which is, obviously it's just minus 103 odds. So you got better odds. So I could see that, but I like Golden State tonight. I don't know. I'm feeling the Golden State. Hopefully they don't bite me in the butt. That is going to be the only play of these 3 games that I bet on myself. But I'm going to run with Golden State. And it is coin flip. These are hard games to judge, guys, especially with spreads like this. Like the Cavs, the Celtics, massive favorites. It's hard to take a spread when the spread is this high and these teams are supposed to get blown out. It makes it difficult to get them to cover this spread. Now, I think Miami does this game. So that's positive EV value if you wanted to bet on that. But this game, this is the only close game we got in terms of odds. And the plus 146 odds for Golden State, who just won game 1, I gotta roll with them again. So that is going to be my only play from those 3. So jumping into our player props of the day. I have 5 props, guys. I have 1 prop from every game in NBA, and I'm going to give you guys 2 MLB props. I'm just doing that instead of trying to find 4. I don't love the player props on NBA tonight. I'm not going to lie. These games are tough, especially when 2 of them are supposed to be blowouts, supposed to be pretty high point totals, or spreads, I mean. Makes it hard to want to bet on those games because you don't know how close they're going to keep it. And obviously, they will pull their starters if they think they got the game in the bag. That way they can rest the starters for the next game. So let's go ahead and look at this. So first game of the day we have is going to be the Magic and the Celtics. So I got my first prop from that. The prop that I ran with today was going to be for our man Franz Wagner. I'm taking Wagner points. Now his points line is sitting right now at 21.5. I think he covers that. I'm buying it down to 19.5 regardless. I think 19.5 is low. I think he drops 20 points. If you look at him over his last 10 games, he's cashed just in 9 of his last 10. He missed it 1 game versus Atlanta. Looking at his minutes, that game versus Atlanta, he played 34 minutes, only had 13 points. We already know Banchero has been turning up. He's been dropping almost 30-something points a game. Had a massive game the first game. They still got beat pretty bad. You can see the score was 86 to 103. They couldn't keep it that close. Now, I think that they try to get some more players involved. I think Wagner has a good game tonight. Wagner is, in my opinion, he is the second best scorer. And I think he's going to have to step it up a little bit. So he had 23 points. 23 points is not bad. If you look at field goal attempts, he shot 24 shots. He shot 42%. So he shot 24 attempts last game, which is huge. 20 points and 24 attempts is not a lot of points. So I think he cashes this again tonight. Head-to-head data versus the Celtics. He has 2 games from this season. He had 23 points in both games. Now you can look at Boston's points defense, second best defense in terms of points allowed in the league. If you go over to small forward, it's 4th, power forward is 8th. So there's the only position they give a lot of points up to is to the point guard. Regardless, obviously that makes it a good matchup for some players, but regardless, they're not going to give up many stats to many players. So coming over here, props madness. I'm going to pull up this game. Boston, Orlando. We're going to click our man Wagner, and we're going to look at the shot chart. So Wagner shoots 37% under the rim. He has a red matchup playing against the 5th best defense under the rim. He shoots 29% of his shots in the paint against a bottom 10 defense, which is the green matchup. Everything else is yellow. So he does shoot a lot of threes, 8% mid-range. So majority of his shots are going to be pretty much in the paint or behind the three-point line. He has a bad under-the-rim matchup we see, but he has a good matchup in the paint as well. So this one they don't quite balance out. That red's a little bit worse than that green is good, but regardless, I think that our man Wagner cashes this out, and this is probably a little on the worse side than it is on the good side, but not by much. So it's not like a really bad matchup, but it's not a good matchup either. Looking at similar players versus the Celtics, by props madness, 47% of the players have cashed. By position, 47% of the players have cashed. So 47% of small forwards have cashed versus Boston in the last 15 games. So overall, like to play a lot. I'm going to pull it up on Predictive Profits. Sorry for my yawning. I'm sorry. So pulling this up on Predictive Profits. What Predictive Profits does, it runs every game in 10,000 simulations, and then it gives you the percent of hit rate of those games. So I'm going to hit Wagner points. Projection, then projected for 23.5 points. That means that was his average over those 10,000 games that it ran. He scored 23.5 points. Projection hit rate, 63%. So 63% of those games he cashed his point line. So they got him projected to go over. Makes me feel even better about the prop. If you want to try this platform out, you can use code ACES and get 50% off your first month. If you guys want to try OUTLIER out, this is the one you see me play. Look at these charts and stuff in all the time. Very, very good for finding data. You can get a free trial for a week using our link down in the description. But Wagner's pick number 1. I'm locking him in over here on Parlay Play. Parlay Play is my favorite app. If you guys use code Fantasy Aces on Parlay Play, listen, hear me out. Everybody should have Parlay Play. Best app on the market. I promise I'm not just glazing Parlay Play. I play on every single app. I have Chalkboard, Sleeper, Prizepicks, Underdog. I play on every single app. Literally, I post a bet on every single app almost every single day. And I'm telling you right now, Parlay Play is the best. They got the best value. They give you better payouts. They got better promos. Their promos actually cash. Chalkboard is good at picking promos that don't cash to make you lose money. And Parlay Play gives you good promos. So I'm telling you, if you don't have it, sign up now. Use code Fantasy Aces when you're signing up. Make a minimum deposit. You get a free month of our VIP. They give you $5 for free. And they double your first deposit up to $100. But anyway, Wagner, 19.5 points. You got a 1.4x here. If you want to play him at 21.5, I think he covers it. So, if you want to risk it at 21.5, you can. I just like to get better value. Even for a better, worse payout, personally, I'll just take the 19.5 points. Because if he dropped 21, I'd be pissed if I took 21.5. I really would, and lost $100 or whatever I decided to bet on this play. So I'm buying it down. I do think he covers 21.5. It's up to you. For the free picks, I'm putting 19.5, and that's going to be our first play of the day. Franz Wagner, 19.5 points. So jumping into our pick number 2, it's going to be from the second game we have is the Heat and the Cavs, and I'm running it with our man Bam. So Bam, points, rebounds, and assists. Taking his PRA, his original line's 32.5. And you can buy this number down everywhere on Parlay Play. So or 33.5 on some apps, but you definitely can get it at 32.5. I'll go ahead and pull this up just to show you guys. Look at all the options we have on BAM PRA. You can adjust this line wherever you want. So you have a regular payout, 1.8x at 32.5, 1.6x at 31.5, 30.5 is 1.5, 29.5 is 1.3. So I'm not taking the 29.5 for that payout. I think it's low. Any of these 3, I think you're safe with taking. Now, when you get to 32.5 and the line starts getting a little bit high, I think he's going to get 33 PRA tonight. Bam's been playing really, really well versus the Cavs this season, which we'll look at here in just a second. But I ended up buying this down to 30.5, so 1.5x. That way, if I play these together, you got a 2.13x payout. So if I put $100 on it, I'm going to win $213. So that's what I ended up doing. If I bought this to 31.5, that would give me an extra $20 payout. Which that $20 to me, it's only one PRA, I know, but if you get hooked, man, the extra $20 wouldn't make me feel better. I'm just saying. So I bought it at 30.5. I think you're okay to take it at 32.5. At 32.5, you'd make another $40. But it's totally up to you guys what you do on this. 30.5 is what I'm locking in for the free picks. So let's pull Bam up. So I'm going to buy him down to 30.5. We're going to watch his hit rate. So it's 6 out of 10 at 32.5. 30.5, it goes to 7 out of 10. He's cashed at 10 of his last 20, which is a 50% hit rate, and he's cashed at 53% on the season. Now, when you go to head-to-head, he has cashed his 5 straight games versus Cleveland. This season, he has 4 games. He has cashed all 4 games versus Cleveland, 35, 33, 51 back in March, and then he had 36 in Game 1 versus Cleveland where they got beat by 21 points. So, yes, they couldn't keep the spread within 12 points, which is ugly, but he still had 36 PRA. Now, looking at Cleveland's PRA defense, 12th, 10th, and 8th. You go to the center, 6th, 12th, and 8th. So not giving up many stats to pretty much any position. So you can get small forward to the forward position. They give up a lot. But overall, they're not going to give up many stats. We know Cleveland has a good defense, and I obviously think is going to be the same this game. But he is averaging 38 PRA versus Cleveland this season. So overall, Bam has been playing well. I'm going to pull it up on Props Madness. We already know they have a good defense, so you're probably not going to get a good scoring chart here. Orange matchup under the rim. 32% of his shots there against the bottom 10 defense, and everything else is yellow. So he shoots 34% in the paint. Overall, he's shooting 66% of shots in the paint or under the rim, and then everything else is pretty much scattered. So overall, it's on the worse side than it is the good side because it's a good defense. You're not going to get a good matchup against a defense like this with pretty much any player on the shot chart because they all have really, really good defenses. Unless you have a player who shoots corner threes and mid-range shots all the time, you're not going to have a great matchup. But looking at similar players versus the Cavs, by Props Madness, you got 64% that have cashed. 7 of the last 11 have cashed. Then if you go by position, 53% of centers have cashed their points line versus Cleveland. So taking a chance with Bam tonight. I think he cashes this out. We'll pull it up on over here on Predictive. PRA, they haven't projected to go under 33.5. They haven't projected at 32.3. So he still cashes my 30.5. He cashes a 31.5 on this. If you go up to the 32.5, they haven't projected to go under. But 60.78% of games, he went under the 33.5. So it's up to you which number you guys take. Like I said, I'm going to roll with the 30.5 for the little bit worse payout just to make it slightly safer. But that is pick number 2 of the day. And let's jump into our third play. So third play is going to be from the final game. It's going to be from Warriors-Rockets. So the one I locked in for this one, I'm running it with our man Steph Curry. And there's some reasoning behind this. First of all, Curry's been popping off his last few games. Looking at his points line, I'm locking in his points. He's cashed it in 4 of his last 5. He's averaging 31, 37, and 36 over his last 3. He's been putting up good numbers. Field goal attempts, he's shooting around 20-something shots a game. He's shooting around over 10 threes per game on average out of his last 5. Dude is shooting a lot of three-pointers, which obviously is Steph Curry. We know that's going to happen. But the good thing about this is Houston's points defense. So Houston has a top 10 defense, one of the best defense in the league in terms of points allowed. If you go to point guard position, they have the worst defense in the league to point guards. So that looks good for our man Curry. Shooting guards, 15. So everything, the guard positions, they give up more stats than any other team in terms of points. So we're looking at a good matchup in terms of points allowed for our man Curry. Head-to-head, he's cashed it 4 of his last 7 versus Houston. The last game, 31. Game back on February, 27. The other 2 games from this season, he went under. So one of those games, obviously, we only have 3 points, which is terrible. That's that one game we all made fun of Curry pretty much. But anyways, I took this line. I bought it down to 24.5. You can take it at 25.5. I'm going to pull the payouts up here so you can see them. So point line, you can see 24.5 at 1.6x, 25.5 at 1.8x. I took it at 24.5. 25.5, 26.5 is getting up there. If you want to buy it down even lower, you can. But this payout at 1.6x, I liked a lot. You can play these 3 together for a 3.6x, and you got a little bit of a discount on every play. But Curry at 25 points, I think he gets 25 for us tonight. Not a whole lot more deep diving to do into that play. I'm looking at Golden State. Come here. Obviously, we got a really bad matchup in terms of where they allow points. Now, they have a really, really good 3-point defense. About 5th best defense in the league to the 3-point line. And Curry shoots 56% of his shots from behind the arc. So a lot of threes Curry's going to be shooting against one of the best 3-point defenses in the league. Regardless, Curry should get 25 points tonight, I think. This game's too important. Curry just proved his last game he can drop over 30 points on Houston. And I think he's going to do it again tonight. So 40% of players by Props Madness have cashed, or similar players. When you go by position, 7 of the last 15 guards have cashed versus Houston. So overall, I like to play. I will pull this up over on Predictive. Steph Curry points. They haven't predicted to go under. They have projected at 25.8. So, or 4.8. So they have this line literally projection 0.02 under the 25.5. So I bought it 24.5. He's still projected to go over 24.5. And then the hit rate's like 48.7%, which that doesn't look good anyway for the under. So that one's kind of coin flip according to Predictive if you look at it that way. But regardless, like this play for Curry, and I've got him locked in 24.5 points. So that's going to be our final play for player props on NBA. I do have 2 MLB plays I'm going to jump over to just to show you guys, and hopefully they're still on the board. So the first one's going to be for our man Festa. David Festa, I'm taking him over 14.5 pitching outs. You can get him on certain platforms. I got him on Sleeper. He has missed this game in 2 straight games versus 2 games this season versus the Mets and versus Detroit. Now looking at him tonight, they're playing against the White Sox. The worst team in the league right now is the White Sox. He averages 70 pitches his first 2 games, so he's not going to have a lot of pitches. He should get 5 innings tonight versus the White Sox. That's just my opinion. I like to play. He's not having a good season so far. He doesn't have a long leash, but he's playing against the worst hitting team in the league right now. You can see they're ranked pretty much last in every single category, and that's versus a right-handed pitcher. So good matchup. The matchup doesn't get any better for our man David Festa, and I've got him locked in. So let's see if we can get this play on Parlay Play. I haven't checked Parlay Play actually. I saw the 14.5 and locked it in as fast as possible, and this is why. So it has been posted. I will show you guys the slip that we locked in. Show you guys I'm not trolling on the 14.5. So right there, David Festa, 14.5 pitching outs over, and I paired him with Zach Wheeler. It's literally a double up on the dot. Zach Wheeler under 2.5 walks. So we'll pull that up as our second play. Wheeler. It's going to be PBB on here, I think. Batters based pitchers this season. So we're going to go under. So Wheeler's been under 4 of his 5 games this season. He had one 3-game walk versus Atlanta. The rest of them, he's had 2 max versus Washington and 0 a couple games. Wheeler's got pretty good control. Wheeler's a really good pitcher. He has struggled a little bit this season. He has a 3.73 ERA, which is bad for Wheeler in 31 innings. I expect him to have a good game tonight. They are playing against the Mets. The Mets aren't a bad hitting team, but Wheeler shouldn't end up with more than 2 walks, I wouldn't think, unless he just has a bad game. If you come down here and look at the Mets versus the right-handed pitcher, their strikeout percentage isn't that good, but the walk percentage isn't as well. So 21st in the league in walks, so they're not getting many walks, and in the top 90th percentile. So everything looks good for our man Zach Wheeler on this play. Let's see if we can get him on parlay play. Wheeler walks. Do they really not have the 2.5 on here? I guess from 1.5 to 3.5. That's terrible. All right, so you can't play this in parlay play. You're going to have to get it on Sleeper. I don't know any other app that's going to have this either. So you have to get it on Sleeper. Festa and Wheeler, if you want to play this play, they should cash. Code ACES on Sleeper gets you a free month of VIP if you don't have Sleeper and you want to sign up for it. But anyways, guys, those are our plays of the day. So let's talk about what we got, a little recap. So the only money line I like today we took is Golden State. I'm taking Golden State for the plus money. It's coin flip. If you like Houston, just take Houston. I don't love the Golden State money line, but I do think they win the game tonight. Looking at our player props, we had Wagner, 19.5 points. Bam, 30.5 PRA. Curry, 24.5 points. And then we have Festa and Wheeler. Festa over 14.5 outs. And then Wheeler under 2.5 walks. So those are our plays, guys. Hopefully we cash you guys out. If you guys do want to get more plays, like I said, join our Discord, join our VIP. We'd love to have you guys a part of it. Make sure you guys leave a like and comment on this video for a chance at getting free VIP. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video after we hopefully sweep the board.